So Rick's here, Rick Witter, Paul Banks are here from Shed 7, 30 years. Happy anniversary.
Thank you very much. How's that happened? It's incredible.
Was this always the plan?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Well, see you in another 30.
Yeah, it's crazy, eh?
I know, it's
I can't believe you've been at this for 30 years. It's mad. It's good mad, but it's mad.
I know, and not many bands get to do it, so
Yeah.
it is really great, and we don't take anything for granted these days.
Yeah.
You know, obviously.
So you played the pilot of TFI Friday, do you remember?
We did, yeah, and thank you very much for having us on that.
Shush, stop saying thank you.
Well, no, but seriously, we're, such a great thing.
I got to say, I remember one of my most prevalent memories from TFI Friday is that pilot, because we, as you know, because of what I'm about to say, we used to hire the house over the road because we ran out. There weren't enough dressing rooms because we had so many people on the show. Yeah. We had contributors, we had bands, we had guests. It was just so busy, and of course, there were dressing rooms in Riverside Studios, and there have been for years. It's where loads of TV shows are made, other things had happened there. But we had to hire this house on the corner of the street across the road, which is where Will and I used to write, and where there was a cafe underneath it, the one-stop cafe, and then I used to have my dressing room there. And you used that as a dressing room for that pilot. Do you remember?
We did, yeah.
And I remember coming in, I was so excited. We're all so excited, weren't we?
I know, what great times.
I remember coming up the stairs, and I remember seeing you in hair and makeup, and that might be my most prevalent memory of TFI Friday.
Wow.
Isn't that weird?
Well, yeah, that's really odd, but we remember it so well ourselves, don't we? So it was Us Ocean Colour Scene, wasn't there?
And then
yes, of course. So we did the pilot, and then that went down so well. You invited us back, didn't you?
Yeah.
You invited us back the first show. I think
I can't remember that bit.
Well, and then
after
you
that,
also...
it gets a bit sketchy for me. And then I woke up in about 2001.
But then you also said, we'll have you back, but can you do a cover of a Stones song?
Right.
So we did that, and then that became a B-side to one of our singles.
Wow.
Live from TFI Friday.
Wow.
Yeah.
So TFI started in 96. Obviously, this is your 30th anniversary. I'm no Einstein, but I'm guessing that means you got together in 94.
Well, that's when we signed a record deal. We got together in 1990.
Right, did you actually?
30 years of being recording artists.
So nearly 35 years of being a band then.
Yeah.
Gee whiz.
Since we were 12,
13,
so it goes back to the 80s, really.
A mate of mine texted me last night because his boyfriend is this brilliant artist, and he just texted me, do you know anybody at a record label? And I said, actually, no, I don't anymore. I used to. I said, there was a time, sadly not, but there was a time. And I'm not even sure how much of a thing that is nowadays. What was it like for you signing your first record deal when it was a thing?
It was really exciting because that's what we were aiming to get. And we signed a 6-album deal with Polydor.
6 albums?
Yeah, we managed to do
We didn't get
3.
to make them all.
Yeah, we got halfway there.
Signed the deal, man.
We signed the deal, right?
Yeah.
So I remember getting on the train to go and sign it because we're from York. And we were very excited as a band. We get on the train to go and sign the deal. Arrived at the offices. Our lawyer said something's not quite right.
Was it like in the films? Was it like a bit like that?
Well, eventually, but we were told to go home without signing it because one of the clauses wasn't quite right.
Well, good for your lawyer.
But imagine, we're going home saying it's not going to happen.
Was this with David Joseph and all that? Okay.
Yes, it was. Yes, yeah. So obviously we're just young kids, early 20s. Expected the world.
Yeah, of course.
And it kind of through the 90s happened, and then obviously Britpop kind of dies a little bit of a death. New acts come in, different scene. So the fact that we're still here doing what we're doing is just testament.
It's funny because I've had this conversation loads of times, obviously because of what I've done in the past. The main music show of the day, or the Zeitgeist music show, because it's always Top of the Pops, always a couple of other shows. Yeah. But every 5 or 6 years you had a signature show for that particular generation or half of a generation.
Yeah.
And that went from the Old Grey Whistle Test, or even Ready, Steady, Go back in the 60s, then the Old Grey Whistle Test, and then you go through and you get the Tube, and then you get the Word, and then you get the White Room, and then you get to TFI Friday. And then the next decade's signature show was Big Brother. It wasn't a music show. And it's when it changed. Yeah. And it sort of stopped music in a way. Not all music, of course, but that's what stopped. It wasn't just that the Brit pop era finished. The TV live Zeitgeist music era stopped because Big Brother took over.
Yeah, reality took over.
And then everybody wanted to be a reality star as opposed to being a band. And that it culled loads of future talent that we'll never know about.
Well, there's that, and also if you're interested in food, because there's an awful lot of that now, certainly over a weekend.
Yeah, and chefs became the rock and roll stars, didn't they?
Exactly.
Because we performed at the Good Food Show, the BBC Good Food Show, with James Martin in front of 3,000 people, and it was like being at a gig.
Wow. Yeah.
You know, it's all good. It's all good, isn't it? It's just different.
Yeah, well, exactly that. So maybe we should make some beans on toast while we're doing a gig. I can multitask.
By the way, there's a massive baked beans story in the papers today, which we haven't talked about the fact that Aldi's baked beans have now come out in a blind tasting better than Heinz.
Wow.
And I think second to Asda. And Aldi's a 41p a tin, and Asda's a 42. And I don't know how much Heinz are, but I suspect they're probably twice the price.
A good reality TV show in there somewhere.
There should be,
Mockers in a house with a load of different brands
with
of
loads
baked
of beans. Yeah.
Well, listen, shed7.com is where you need to go for tickets. Shed7.com. So we've got two types of tour, and they're running consecutively. So we've got the in-store performances, which are almost completely sold out, and then we've got the Change Giver album all the way through, full shows from October through to December, many of which are also sold out. So you know, there's so many sold out venues, gigs. But so if you fancy going to see Shed 7, you need to go to Kingston, Coventry, and Glasgow. Loads of tickets sold, but some tickets still available. Cardiff as well, and there's like 50 odd dates here. So these are
Margate really that people need to
Margate.
Yeah.
Okay, you really. By the way, Margate's lovely.
Margate's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, one of our ladies' hair and makeup, Victoria, she just bought a house in Margate. She's having a great old time. Hull City Hall, Margate, Dreamland.
Yeah.
Go and find out if it's true. All right. Stockton, Globe, but everywhere, almost everywhere else is sold out. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations on still being amazing, and also achieving your first ever #1 album this year.
Yes, that's true. Yeah,
that's
in
not
January.
your first of the year. That's your first ever this year.
That's right.
Tell us about how did it feel? What were your expectations?
Well, see, to be fair, if that didn't happen, we just love creating things. We love being artistic. So whatever. But the fact it did go to #1 and it's taken us so long to do it, it just goes to show perseverance, self-belief, hard work will always pay off.
Consistency.
Exactly.
The difference is that it's our first album that was on an independent label,
right?
And we're also self-managed now as well. So
come on, that's interesting. Tell me about. Oh, I like this.
Tell
us about self-management.
Well, Chris, where do I start?
Because more people are doing it now, aren't they?
Yeah, well, I think we just got to an age where you find that you're kind of spending most of your time trying to chase people if they've done things. It's easier just to do it yourself.
Yeah, no, you're chasing the people who are supposed to be representing you, who may be misrepresenting you.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, it was, basically, this is what I've heard from other bands, right, is that their agents back in the day used to book them loads of gigs and stuff like that when the offers were just piling in. But when, in the lean times, the agent may have gone out and maybe sort of fielded some offers, they don't like that bit of the gig. That kind of thing. Yeah. It's like when you phone an estate agent, you're trying to sell a house. Ooh, very difficult seller's market. Same day, you phone up pretending to buy a house. Very difficult buyer's market. Yeah. They just say the story they want to hear. The story that's best for them. Anyway, it's good. Look, I'm really glad.
Cutting out the middleman, isn't it, really? It's just cutting out the middleman.
I am really glad that you're up and out. So who's best at managing in the band?
Definitely Paul.
Good, nice one, Paul.
It's like that Pet Shop Boys songs. You've got the brains, and I've got the looks. Well, it's the other way around.
Let's go make some money.
No, we just work really well together in that.
Good for you, mate. Good for you. So 30 years on as a signed band, Shed 7 still absolutely smashing it. Great to see you. I mean, annoyingly, you haven't really aged a day. Seriously, don't say the same to me because I know I have, and I've got the old man cap.
You look very well, Chris.
There you go. I'll take that. You look very well. Yeah. You look very. My mum used to say the best she ever compliment she gave me. Look very smart. That was it. That was as good as it got. Right, what are you going to play for us now?
Shall we do our signature song, Chasing Rainbows?
Okay, let's go for it.